So DJ Vlad, let me share this screen real quick. DJ Vlad just went off on her. And yeah, it was interesting. Let's watch this real quick. She went off on what's the football player name?
Swear you might have to be a little bit crazy to be the GOAT, because we're seeing Nicki move in Ye activity. We're talking Ye St. Pablo tour type of madness right now. And then it's unfortunate because some of the stuff that she's saying is actually true and she's trying to bring attention to important things, but she just ruins it because it's in the midst of all this sludge. And this started off with her. She ended up in a beef with Dez Bryant, who's an NFL player. So the way that this all started was that Jerry Jones was saying that negotiating Dez Bryant's deal with Jay-Z, who's not an NFL agent, was an issue and that he wouldn't be dealing with agents anymore. And then Dez Bryant says, Jerry Jones, I don't think it's smart to mention my name. I kept quiet about a lot of unfair-ish on some G-ish. We can have story time if that's what we were doing. And then Roc Nation tweeted the following. Keep in mind, this has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj so far. It's an NFL player and just his management, because Roc Nation Sports is also managing certain athletes, and the NFL. And then Roc Nation Sports said, in 2015 at the 21 Club on a napkin, Jerry Jones, Juan Perez, Sean Jay-Z Carter. Juan Perez is also Jay-Z's business partner and the wife of, the husband of Desiree Perez. And Stephen Jones negotiated a 5-year, $70 million deal, which included a $45 million guarantee and a $20 million signing bonus for Dez Bryant. At the time, it was the second largest contract for a wide receiver in NFL history. The claim that Mr. Carter or Roc Nation representatives did not return a call from Jerry Jones is not only a false statement, but it's also a comical one. And then Nicki Minaj thought that there was an issue between Dez and Jay-Z. So she quoted it, which is, how do you even think that there's an issue between him and Jay-Z at this point? It says, hey, it's Nicki Minaj. How about we play it?
Nicki just jumped to conclusion and just went off? Is that what's going on?
Game. Every time you do a Jerry Jones or NFL story time, I'll do a story time of my own. And she's taking this off the play of Saw, the horror series. And then he quotes the tweet and puts eyes emojis around it. And Nicki fans thought that he was going to say something about Jay-Z, although it doesn't seem like he had any issue with Jay-Z. And then she says, all my stories will be about Roc Nation Jay-Z and the alleged racist Desiree Perez, Roc Nation CEO. I hope you fully understand the rules. It's your turn. And then Dez Bryant basically says, yo, I'm out of here. So I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Nicki, leave me out of it. I don't want no problems. I'm a huge fan. I hope you're having a great day.
So here you have the guy like, yo, I'm not trying to get involved in all of this. And unfortunately, Nicki Minaj is like, no. You're getting involved in this, whether you like it or not. And she says, it's Mrs. Petty. This just came across my desk from 2020. I guess you're one of the guinea pigs they've been using to bully people for them. Did you think I came over here to play tweetsies with your silly sir? See, the problem with people who are always playing is that they think everyone else is playing too. I'd mind my business if I were you. Be blessed. And it says here, it's some article. Dez Bryant gets blasted by Nicki Minaj fans for jumping in beef with someone else. And this is just, dog, what? She went into his tweets and then brought him into something. He thought he was just going to interact with her. And then she's treating it like this guy did something wrong. And he says, just go enjoy your day. The guy's just being peaceful. He's being calm. He's not trying to get into any issues. And then she realized that he didn't have an issue with Jay-Z and Roc Nation after her initial misinterpretation. And she says, go beat your mom. This is crazy. Go beat your mom and then ask Desiree Perez and Jay-Z why they've allegedly been the vile aunts that they've been to many black people while lining their own pockets and weaponizing racism in order to keep black people blinded from their truth. Why wasn't Desiree Perez pardoned by President Trump publicized to the black community and hip-hop culture the way Lil Wayne's was? I think it was. You could say it wasn't, but it was the talk of social media, at least. Did she repay the president for that monumental blessing, or did she betray him the way Jay-Z allegedly betrayed the Democratic Party and countless others that he's had business dealings with in the past? On second thought, don't beat your mom. I'm sure she loved you once. This tweet is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Anyways, Barb's next. And this is just sad. Now, there wasn't an arrest because she's pulling up information where he allegedly assaulted his mom and he had been arrested. And at this point, the guy is getting tight because he's like, yo, what the hell how is this turning on me? Because I didn't want to go with you for your misinterpretation of me having an issue with my former management and agents. Dez Bryant continues on. He's like, okay, you dragging me into this? He says, say bit. I didn't go to jail or touch my mama. I was defending myself. I removed her nails from my skin. Folks know I was dealing with some corrupt ish in Dallas. I don't get how you can even be on the internet with your husband being an S offender. You said we're speaking facts. Weirdo, so come on. And of course, he posts some information that we all know about. And this continues with Nicki Minaj quote tweeting this back and saying, I'm so happy you brought this up. As if this hasn't been brought up so many times. I'll give you $10 million in cash if you'd come and fight him since you beat your own mom. He was lied on 31 years ago while both of them were 16 and there's proof. That's why they couldn't get that money they desperately needed and sued for. Now you, on the other hand, was beating your mother as an adult. Bigfoot has a brand new weird case as an...
Yo, Nicki's gonna fuck around and get the husband beat up, yo. Dez Bryant is 3 times bigger than Kenneth, yo. She always does that. She always jump to conclusion, then throw the husband under the bus.
adult. Is he talking Bigfoot as in Megan Thee Stallion? Because that's who she's usually talking about. So I don't know why is she calling him Bigfoot? This is just all so confusing. Jay-Z dodging a paternity test that could prove he effed a teen as an adult. Desiree Perez beating her daughter and calling her black son-in-law an ER with the hard R as an adult. Well, I mean, she didn't need to say a hard R when she already dropped it there. Falsely had her own daughter institutionalized as an adult. Lied and said her child was on drugs as an adult. This tweet is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. As a matter of fact, let me go call President Trump and ask for a pardon like Desiree Perez did. Next, I'll get into the casino stuff. Dez Bryant's bumhole allegedly leaks as an adult. Should I start my story times now? And this is just, it's so tactless. I'm like, duh. And then Dez Bryant goes on, I've been lied on my whole career, so I'm not trying to hear all of that ish. I thought we was speaking facts. I don't play all of that funny ish. Go get that $10 million in cash. I'll stomp that dude out right in front of you, and it's Roc for life. And then she says, I hope Jerry Jones is having a good day. So she just completely went ghost when she heard that he was ready and going to stomp out her husband, which is her husband's really getting thrown in the line of fire a lot. And the problem with, like, I've been somebody that's talked about Roc Nation. I did a whole really in-depth dive on Roc Nation years ago, maybe 2020. And I agree with Nicki Minaj here, not to the extent of what she's saying. Like, yes, Jay-Z will do anything that serves his best interest. Correct. That is his main goal, of course. Desiree Perez, I don't know too, as far as what I talked about her in the past, that's all I know. The daughter thing is really, really sus, especially how they handled it with many like content creators and just trying to take people down and things like that. That's sus. Jay-Z also not taking that paternity test is very, very sus. But you got to think about it. If you're Jay-Z and people are, yo, just take it. If he takes it and he is his kid, which let's say he is, that's enough to cause a lot of business partners to fall out with Jay-Z because Jay-Z's handled his public image so well and he's transitioned so well. But the problem with Nicki Minaj taking up the mantle of what is otherwise a good cause is that it makes everybody else believe it less when she's going on these wild rants and tirades and attacking people that don't have anything to do with what she's trying to talk about. And really, the messenger is so important in this scenario, and Nicki Minaj is just not a good messenger for this. And you can kind of tell, you're like, yo, what is wrong? Why does Nicki Minaj always come across bitter in these situations? And people will talk about like, nah, it's the business deal, and she got screwed out of 10 M's or whatever the case may be. And that's a topic that Vlad actually approached, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But the way that I look at it is like, man, look, let's say she did get screwed in the business deal or whatever the case may be. What does Dez Bryant have to do with it? Why are you talking about him like that? And it's almost as if Nicki's on this, hey, listen, unless you're riding with me and doing whatever I say and whatever I want us doing and whatever I believe is correct, then I'm going to go in on you. And then she's putting her husband in the line of fire, which she's used her husband as a means to threaten certain people like academics, where she said she's going to send her big blood husband after him. What's his address in between their DMs? And then publicly, Nicki Minaj is acting like a victim and tagging the FBI when MacWop from TDE was just talking about like, yo, we're gonna put you in a blender. Like, we've got rappers that are gonna, out rap, which, like, come on, out rap Nicki Minaj. Let's be real here. That's not the only thing we have to give Nicki credit for, but that's one of the things we cannot take away from her. Please, let's not do that. I just don't really get. You just get this hypocrisy. You get this wide range of what seems like like bipolar behavior, which I don't know if it is. A lot of people are accusing her of being on some type of powder. We're not talking creatine either. That might help her cognitively, though. Not saying she's dumb or anything.
Bogus
It's
sugar,
just
yo.
a meme where everyone's
go,
like
Nicki.
super dosing creatine now. So I just wanted to throw that in there. But I think this is unfortunate and kind of sad to see happen in real time. And Ye ruined a couple of different movements like this as well, where you get behind them and then you kind of just, you need somebody that's tame, that's likable, that has many allies, and that is not subject to have crazy outbursts to be the one behind this. Because if I'm Roc Nation, I'm happy that Nicki Minaj is doing this, because everyone's going to look at her like, yo, what is she doing? That lady's crazy. Yeah, she must be wrong about what she's saying as well. That's just how people associate things. So I think that's probably why they're not coming after her as hard as they are, or as hard as they have other people. Because when you've got all of this massive other people who they ran down on each one by one, clipping them, then it seems like there's only one person that's still crazy and screaming. Now, she did take up the fight, but is it because of other people, or is it because of her grudge for or against Roc Nation for whatever deal that she had, that money that she believed she was owed? And people get screwed, quote unquote, out of deals all the time, and they just chalk it up to the game. Like, I'm pretty sure Jay we probably haven't even heard of it, where he's gotten screwed out of a couple deals, maybe early on in his career, and he learned his lesson. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Yeah, Nick is starting to get unhinged. She's starting to act like Kanye and losing all credibility.
Barbs. The Barbs are actually all mad at me right now.
They mad at you, and who else they mad at?
Listen, I put up a tweet this morning. I said, Nicki Minaj is the definition of money can't buy you happiness.
What are you attacking? I thought she's married.
Do you see what she's been doing recently?
I seen she's been going at Jay-Z. Well, Tidal.
Jay-Z, SZA,
Why is she going at SZA?
Doechii, Kendrick, Punch from TDE, everybody. Desiree from Roc Nation.
But see, okay, let's hold on.
Like, what does SZA do?
But hold on.
SZA's really just minding her own business.
But
She's calling SZA ugly and,
But here's the thing. Let's look at this differently.
Okay.
I think the problem we have is we watch people for 10, 20, 15 years. We watch them. Vlad, if I woke up and over the next 5 days saw you ranting on everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say Vlad's unhappy. I'm going to say, yo, Act, yo, Trap, yo, Adam, hey, bro, we need to go check on Vlad. This ain't him, right? Like, we see what he's doing. This not him. So that means something's going on. So my thing is, have we ever seen Nicki attack people? I mean, we've seen her get into it with people.
Yes, she's gone off on these crazy conspiracy theories.
But they'd be ended by this many people. Like SZA don't bother nobody.
She really does.
Kendrick definitely ain't said nothing to her.
Right.
Punch ain't said nothing to her. Right. So what I'm saying is what she's doing.
Jay-Z hasn't said anything to her.
This is what I'm saying.
This is what she's claiming, right?
Maybe something's going on.
This is what she's claiming. So, remember when Jay-Z launched Tidal?
I remember.
And he brought in like 16 musical
15
partners.
people gave him 3% each.
Gave what?
3% each, 45%.
Okay, 3% each.
3%. They got 45% that he brought in. Later on, somebody else came in with like 200 million or so, and he gave them a third. It kind of diluted everybody, which we understand that. That's how your contract's written.
So she's claiming that Jay-Z, when he sold the company to Jack Dorsey, which I looked it up, it was sold for around $300 million. That she was paid $1 million, but she's really owed $200 million.
But she only had about maybe 2.5%, 3% tops.
There's 16 partners. She's not an equal partner. Jay-Z is obviously the biggest shareholder.
I think they're supposed to get $7 million.
302.5%.
7 million.
I mean, shit.
300 times
10% would have been 3 million.
2.5.
Half of that 1.5.
It's about 7.5 million.
For 2.5?
2.5%. If it sold for that much, but like you said, it was probably diluted.
It was diluted.
And in fact, Tidal was a losing company.
It's trading
Tidal
in the
was
negative.
never successful.
It's Stayed in the negative.
It stayed in the negative, so probably decreased in overall value. They had to get other, they had to get more money, which ultimately diluted everyone's share and so forth. It's not like you're talking about Spotify. You're not talking about Apple. You're talking about a losing company that was ping-pong to various other people. I think Sprint bought it at one point. Then I think Jack Dorsey just bought it as a favor to be cool with Jay-Z because he didn't do anything with it. Tidal's not a major platform anymore.
He didn't do anything with it.
And she's claiming that she's owed $200 million, which is like, it's just insane.
Now, she's saying this on social media. Now, Vlad, me and you both know when you're dealing with these type of situations, you're dealing with these type of entities, Nicki being who she is and her legal team, Jay-Z and Tidal being what that is. Bro, that comes down to the paperwork. It's not even an argument. They're going to look at the paperwork. They're going to do an audit of the money. They're going to see what went what was worth what should have been coming that way. And it's that simple. If you're hollering and screaming on social media, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe either a album, a single, she's about to launch some merch. I believe it's just a marketing gimmick to put the light on her so she can present something else to the people. I could be wrong, but, or she just, maybe she's going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people go through things and people react in different ways. For her to be going at this many people all at once, we watched, Gucci Mane, remember?
Yeah.
Remember when Gucci got on one?
Yeah, but
matter of fact, she was the butt
he
of one
went
of the
to
jokes.
prison right afterwards.
Remember, he was, bro, we was hearing all kind of things, right?
Yeah.
But Gucci later on, once he came home from prison,
got off drugs, got married, settled
Remember,
down.
it was something happened at the barbershop.
Yeah.
Shit, he said, Nicki, I used to take you to the $29.99. He went at everybody, right? Every day we looked up, Gucci was over, but bro was going through something. You know what I mean? So maybe she's a mother. She got a husband over there. I don't know him. I know he has some serious past allegations. They've been running it every day on the Hunter side, but that's because Nicki went at academics and somebody else and kind of used his name as a threat. And now you have kind of like thrown him into the forefront of some stuff that has nothing to do with him. And the only thing people gonna talk about is his charges and allegations. You get what I'm saying? You can't use him and his street cred and what he has going on. In the past, I don't think he's doing any of these things today to say, my husband gonna come see you. Not to a dude like academics.
Yeah.
Academics, you know what he said. You know what he said, right?
He said,
I'll have him meet me at the daycare.
Meet me at Chuck E. Cheese.
Your laugh is diabolical. Act crazy, you get what I'm saying?
Meet me at the Montessori.
Yeah, meet me somewhere you can't be. So when I call the cops and they pull up,
you're arrested because you're a registered sex offender.
Yeah,
right. You can't be in this facility.
But in his defense, we haven't heard anything from him since the little Offset spat.
Yeah, no, he's being quiet. He's playing his position. And look, Nicki has a crazy history of this kind of thing. Because remember, she allegedly paid $100,000 for her brother's legal costs, and he was convicted for raping a little girl over and over again for years. Mm-hmm. Really a disgusting individual who's in prison.
Well, here's the thing in defense of Nicki, not him. I don't know him. You know he's gonna tell his sister I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
Facts.
I need an attorney.
She's
gonna believe him. She's gonna want to believe him.
It's fair.
Right? She's gonna want to believe him. Now me and you, we're gonna look at it and look at what's going on and be like, hey, don't call my phone no more. Something wrong with you, right? So, defense of Nicki, I can see her wanting to help her brother if her brother is screaming, I'm innocent. I could even see her, even after he's found guilty, helping him through an appeal because he's screaming that he's innocent. But it is kind of like, went from that to the husband and that, and, she.
Right, he's a registered sex offender.
Yeah.
Listen, I have my old group of friends from college. I found out that one of them got busted. 'Cause he was like the bummy guy in the crew. He got busted for trying to sell like R. Kelly tapes like a few years ago or something on the dark
Like
web.
sex tapes?
Yeah, like remember like the
Yeah,
peeing
yeah.
tape and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
He got raided by the police. He got arrested. He's now a registered sex offender. And I'm like, okay, that's it. We're not hanging out ever again.
Yeah,
That's it. We're done. We're done. We can't come over. Can't be around my kids.
Yeah.
That's illegal.